Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be doing a green pool cleaning. This pool has sat for a long time, probably close to about a year, and I'm going to show you how I do green pool cleanings and to get it done as quickly as possible. If you're new to my channel and you like videos like this, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it when I post another video. And also, if you could, check out my other videos. Okay, so the first step, what I'm going to recommend that you do is clean your skimmers and get your skimmers cleaned and get the pump basket cleaned. Try to get out as much debris as you can. So you would get the debris out as quickly as you can from the bottom, as much as you can, and then you would clean the skimmers and then followed by the pump basket. Here, there's really not too much debris that's on the bottom from what the customer says, but there is a lot of floating algae, and that's what you see here. So that's floating algae, just green algae. And so what I'm gonna do now, this is the step, is I've got the skimmers for the most part cleaned. I'm going to get a reading on the chemicals and I'll be right back. So what you're gonna do before you actually check the chemicals, see what the pH is, you're going to go ahead and, like I said, clean the skimmers out, the pump baskets, and clean the filter. So if it's a sand filter like the one for this pool, you're going to clean the filter, then you're going to set the pump to run 24 hours, okay? As soon as you're done, get the sample, figure out what the stabilizer levels is and the pH, and that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so as expected, the pH is going to be super duper high. So what we're going to do is we're going to use muriatic acid, and I'm going by the gallonage of this pool. I'm going to put in about half a gallon of muriatic acid, and as soon as I'm done with that, I'll be back and I'll tell you the next step. Okay, so I just got done putting in the half gallon of muriatic acid to lower the pH and the total alkalinity. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a bottle of No More Problems. The main ingredient is sodium bromide, and if you don't have this, you can use yellow treat or yellow alt. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this bottle in, and I'll be right back. And by the way, this is actually a really good chemical to use for maintenance, for algae prevention. It's really, really good. All right, so let's recap what we've done. I've cleaned these skimmers out, the pump baskets. I've cleaned the sand filter, and I've checked the chemicals. The stabilizer level is good, and the pH and total alkalinity was very high. So I went ahead and added the half gallon of muriatic acid. So we have that put in, it's all circulating. I'm gonna wait a while before I actually start putting in granular chlorine. I'm gonna be using calcium hypochlorite. Now, if you have liquid chlorine, you can use that also. They both work really well, but I'm gonna be putting that in the pool and slowly, and I'm actually going to be putting it directly into the skimmer. With a lot of chemicals, you want to avoid putting chemicals in the skimmer if they're acidic, but with calcium hypochlorite, granular chlorine, it's got a very high pH, so it's safe to use. In this case, it's a sand filter, and if the sand wasn't new, then you would want to avoid putting it in the sand filter because you don't want it coming back to the pool. So yeah, so once you've taken care of all those steps, what I'm going to be doing in this pool is put in about 12 pounds of granular chlorine. It's better to overdo it than underdo it. So I'm going to be pretty much hitting it really hard to get as much of this algae killed by my visit tomorrow. So hope everybody likes this so far, and I will update you tomorrow when I come back to show you what the progress is. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can always post them in the comment section. Thank you. All right, so this is the calcium hypochlorite. And this is going to be about 3 pounds. I'm going to slowly introduce the rest of it, another 9 pounds. And you definitely want to do it slowly if you're using granular chlorine. And another super important part is going to be to brush down the pool. So you're going to want to brush pool fully down, the sides and the bottom, either right when you put in the chlorine or right before it. So you want to loosen up everything. That's a real critical part. Here I am on day 2, and this is what it looks like. Okay, and I wanted to let you know something. In the earlier part of the video, I did forget to let you know if it's your pool or a friend's pool that you're servicing and you're not actually a pool maintenance person, you definitely would want to do the treatment twice. So you would start it early in the morning and then come back towards the evening and go ahead and re-shock the pool, okay, with liquid chlorine or granular chlorine. Now, depending on the size of the pool is going to depend on how much you're going to need. Okay, let's just see if we can get a reading here. And so we are pretty much looking at low chlorine. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try to vacuum out and net the bottom of the pool to see if there's a lot of debris left, or if there's any that has sunk to the bottom. And I'm just gonna do a test, really, probably with a net first. And I'll come back and I'll let you know what I find. As you can see, there's actually live algae still in the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to be backwashing this filter. Some people will actually choose to put this on a recirculate. I did not want to do that because I used granular chlorine. You can see the sight glass here. It's going to be really, really white and dirty from the granular chlorine and the dead algae. So I'm going to let that run. Then I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to put it on rinse for about a minute, and then I'm going to put it back on the filter, and then I'll be back at the pool. You can do as of at the beginning of the cleanup is to use the PR 10,000, and this is to kill the phosphate. So I'm just going to dump in about 8 ounces, and like I said, you can do that step 1. You can see that this is reacting to the phosphates in the pool. So what you're going to want to do at this step is brush the pool down, and then after that you're going to be retreating the pool, okay? Making sure that the timer is not going to turn off. It's going to be running for 24 hours. And on my next visit, when I come back, I'll show you what it looks like and go through that process. And like I said, your results are going to vary on how long the pool has sat. I'm going to get the chemicals that I need to put in here and any adjustments that I need to make. I'm not going to make any adjustments to the pH or the total alkalinity today, and like I said, the stabilizer is good, so I'm not going to have to mess with that. But you also want to have chlorine tablets at all times. And with this pool, this uses a chlorine floater, and so you're going to want to have that full from the very beginning day. And I may have not posted that yesterday. Okay, we're going to refill the floater here. All right, so I'm re-shocking it. And as you can see, the pool has gotten darker. And that is because I went ahead and brushed it down real vigorously. This treatment is going to kill the remainder. And then when I come back on my next visit, we will, you know, still go through all the chemical adjustments and cleaning out the pool, anything that gets into it, and we're going to go from there. So let me finish up adding this granular chlorine. Okay, so I got another round of granular chlorine in, and you can see it right there. You can see it, and I'm really going to highly recommend that if you're following this tutorial, the safest thing, if you don't have a lot of experience with it, is going to be to use liquid chlorine. So that's what I'm going to recommend, and the amount, like I said, is going to depend on the size of your pool. If you have any questions about that, just let me know, and I'll let you know in the comment section of what I would recommend. I would just need to know how long the pool has sat and how many gallons it is. So, all right, well, I'll see you in a minute for day 3. Hey everyone. So this is day 3, and it's starting to look much better. You can see on the bottom there, hopefully with this overcast here, you can see that there's pretty much, you can see the bottom right there. So that's a really good sign. I'm gonna run a vacuum here, and I'm gonna vacuum out as much stuff off the bottom as I can. I'm gonna do a few other things, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the vacuum up, and I'll be right back. So actually, right before you vacuum, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna want to check the chemicals. So I'm gonna check the chlorine level, the free chlorine level, and go ahead and check the pH, but that could be off because of the high dosages of chlorine. So let me get a reading on that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a aqua check test strip like before, and we're gonna grab it, and we are going to look here, and I can already tell that the chlorine is low, and that's to be expected. So we're looking at probably about 1 part per million. I have the water running in there because we're going to be draining down water, and I just now shut the main drain, and I'm going to wait for all the air to get out of the line. There was a little bit in there. Try to get the majority of it out, but a little bit in there. So once that gets out, I'm going to start vacuuming, but I've got to put it on waste first. So that's the most important key. So make sure that you put it on waste, close the main drains, and then there's a skimmer over there. I went ahead and shut that so you get a full suction to the bottom. Now I'm starting to vacuum, and like I said in the other videos, I don't have a GoPro mount right now, which I wish I did, but fortunately I don't right now. So I have a family member that's borrowing it. So I'm just gonna go pretty much side to side, vacuum in the bottom to waste, and I'm gonna do it slowly, but I wanna get it done as quickly as possible without stirring up anything, because I am draining the water down. So I'm gonna continue doing this, and then when I'm back, I'll let you see if we can see a difference. Okay, so I'm back from vacuuming the pool, and what I did was I vacuumed to waste, And I got as much as I could without taking the water level down too much. You can see the skimmers towards the bottom. So I went ahead and got a large coating of dead algae off the bottom. And now what I'm doing is I am backwashing the filter. I'm gonna rinse the filter, and then I'm gonna put it back on filter mode. And then what we're gonna do is I'm going to add some chemicals, and then I will be back for my 4th visit. So the recap is that if your pool has sat for about a year, it's gonna take this long. If it has not, you know, the less amount of algae in a pool, the quicker the turnaround. Just remember that. Yours is probably not gonna take as long as this if you follow my instructions. So what I'm gonna be doing is, with finishing up here today, is I'm gonna be using 2.5 gallons of liquid chlorine. Okay, and what you're gonna wanna do is try to pour this around the deep end. I mean, you can walk it all the way around the pool, but I usually just stick around the deep end. And what this is gonna do is this is gonna re-shock the pool. It's gonna bring the chlorine levels up. It's gonna kill remaining algae. So just remember that. Once it's zeroed out or even close to it, you really need to go ahead and treat it. And if you do not, it can start going backwards, especially if the water level is super warm. Yeah, 2.5 gallons. And then I'm going to get the customer to fill the water level. Hey everyone, so we're on day 4 here today. And as you can see, the pool is looking way better. I just got done putting in some clarifier, and I'm going to show you the product that I use. And remember, with any products that I ever recommend, I'm going to have a link in the description where you can pick it up. But this is Super Water Clarifier. Okay, so I went ahead and put a good dosage of this. You mix it into a 5-gallon bucket. I went ahead and put it in because it still has cloudiness to it. Now you got to remember of what it looked like, it being sitting for pretty much about a year. So we were dealing with a lot of algae. So I had the option to use the water clarifier, but also there's another product I'm gonna show you here in a minute that I'm not gonna use, but you can use. And actually I highly recommend it. I could not get it until like just the other day ago. And so since I couldn't get it, now that the pool's cleared up so much, I definitely am not gonna use it, but I wish I had it a couple days ago. There was just an issue getting it. So let me go get that product. It's a little bit overkill to use it right now. I could, but it's a pretty expensive product. I mean, for what it is, but this is called Revive. This right here is Dropout. You hook a hose to it, garden hose, and what it's going to do is it's going to clarify, it's going to remove phosphates up to 2,000 parts per billion. It's going to remove copper and iron, and it's going to capture carbonates, and it's going to clear the water of organic debris. This stuff is awesome. They just didn't have it in stock, so I got it late, but I wish I had it on the 3rd day, and it would have worked out really well. But there'll be a link in the description where you can pick this up. This is what you want if you have super cloudy pool water. Like I said, now it's just a little bit of a clarity issue like in the previous video, and then we'll go from there. But I hope you guys liked this video, and I know it's long, but I wanted to show you how to do a green pool cleaning the right way. And how that product Revive works is, what's going to happen is you're going to spray it into the pool with the pump off, and it's going to be shut off. You have to have it shut off for 24 hours or longer. It's going to sink all the particles to the bottom, and then on waste, you're going to vacuum it out. So it's that simple to use. Hey everyone, so today is the 5th visit. This is the final visit. I'm going to need to vacuum this. It has mostly cleared up. There's a little tiny bit of cloudiness there, and that's due to the sand, and we weren't able to use the dropout. So I'm going to go ahead before I leave today and go ahead and use the clarifier. And so other than that, I hope this video could have helped you out. And like I said, you want to review the whole video because I'm going to kind of be going back and forth on things I should have did the first day or the second day. And but I hope this could be of help to you. And if you like videos like this, just check out the other videos that I have. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that, and you'll get more videos like this one. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.